You are now listening to the Warp World Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
Welcome, everybody, to the Warp World Podcast, episode 100 and a half. This is what I'm going with, so I can be part of this 100 celebration. I'm Grant Pooh Bear, of course, with me this week, every week, and even when I'm not there, we got X-Water.
That's me.
And Jakku.
That is me.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I should, especially, I'm with you guys, really, is what it is at this point, you know? Gentlemen, how was E3, guys? Like, how was like the E3 hangover, the after E3 feeling and vibe?
Oh man, it was interesting because we recorded on Thursday.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
recorded on
Thursday,
normal time.
which was the final day of the conference.
Yeah. But there was still so much to do. And after the podcast, we actually had like the craziest meeting.
Yeah.
That we didn't get to talk about last week, and we still don't get to talk about it, but Pooh knows about it now. And like, out of all the meetings were great, but that one was just insane. Each day at E3, we're like, oh, this is great. Nothing can top this. And then like, it's like, hold my cider.
Hold my 40-ounce cider.
Yeah.
That last
cool.
day was incredible. That meeting we had was super cool.
So vague.
The E3 hangover wasn't like that bad for me because I stayed a couple of extra days. I did. I went to
Disney.
I went to Disney. Yeah.
Nice.
And the homie Jeff, he got us in pro bono, like easy breezy style. That guy's got so much clout over at Disney. He just like waves at someone and gets us into Splash Mountain, no lines or nothing. And then I proceeded. I think my phone actually broke from riding Splash Mountain. It's been like wigging out a little bit, but I'll say worth it. I was planning on replacing soon anyway, so.
Splash Mountain's like the weirdest ride because it's like this nice romantic log ride, and then all of a sudden you just have this one giant drop, and that's it. Like, that's the entire ride, you know?
Yeah.
That's like all log rides.
It's like a story. Yeah, no, I mean, log ride, I feel like you usually get a few mini drops, you know? Like, the one in Mall of America's got like 3 or 4, and then the big one.
I think they changed it up because there was 3 separate dips in it this year. And last year when I went, it was closed down to be remade. So, like, I think... Yeah, I think they did do that. And, like, it was weird because the big dip didn't get us nearly as wet as like one of the mini dips. Like, it was like legit just soaking wet all over. Like, I was like, I should not have brought a telephone onto this ride.
That's what happens when a log ride ends.
Yeah.
Everyone in that log on that ride get wet. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a romantic evening. What can I say?
Romantic.
Oh my God. Well,
what about you, man? How was your week? How was your week staying back? What did you get done? What'd you do? Anything crazy happen?
I was really jealous of you guys being gone.
Yeah.
My computer is in like a heart attack crashing mode. So overall, it was a pretty big L week for me. But when you guys coming back, the excitement of when you guys came back kind of made up for it. And to hear about this super top secret meeting that we're not talking about was also really exciting. Like, that was really fun. And also the other good thing was that there has been a gangbuster of new games come out right now that I've been playing these last 2 weeks, which is kind of crazy considering that the game we've all been looking forward to is not coming out till this Friday, if you're listening on Spotify, or, you know, next Friday if you're watching here live on Twitch. But should we just talk about some of these games that have come out?
Let's go in, dude. I'm into it.
Let's do it.
Well, let's start with Cadence of Hyrule, because I think that came out first.
Yeah, that came out like on the 13th while we were still like out and about at E3. So go, dude. Yeah. How great is it? Like, I finished it just before today's podcast, like the main story, and oh my God, dude, it was so fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. It definitely makes me want to go back and play Crypt of the Necrodancer. For those who don't know, it's literally like a reskinned Crypt of the Necrodancer, but like, you know, there's dungeons and Zelda shit. You get items and all that. But the gameplay is very much like Crypt of the Necrodancer, and it is so good. It's so hard. It's really hard, like right at first. I don't know about you, Xwater, but I had problems like right at first. Like the first, I think like half my deaths came on the second screen. Like when you finally got out into Hyrule, you know. But I was like right in the Lost Woods. Like that was the first. It like spawned me in the Lost Woods.
Yeah. I think I spawned in the same area too.
Yeah. And so it like I died like it was like gangbusters. I couldn't get the rhythm down. Then all of a sudden I started bobbing my head. That was the key. Like once I started bobbing my head and like really getting down with the music, I was like, then all of a sudden I became a fucking badass. I think I died like once more to the rest of the play. It was so much fun though. It's a quick game. I really like that. A lot of replayability. You can start as Link or Zelda. So that in itself has a little bit of replayability. They have different attacks, different items.
Yeah, and you can like swap between the two, and also Cadence, the main character from Crypt of Necrodancer. Like you can swap between all of them throughout the playthrough and everything too, which is really cool because they all have like special, unique abilities. Like Link has like the spin slash and a shield. Zelda has Neru's Love and Din's Fire. So like she's got like a cool magic thing going on where Link's got this cool up close and personal thing going on, and it's just so cool, dude. Yeah, so much fun.
I haven't played
cool.
It. You haven't played it yet, Jaku?
No. I don't have time for games.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think I am, a gamer?
It's a
podcast.
It would have been. It would make for a really good plane ride game. What's really sweet about it too is that it's like it's got daily generated, randomized, like competitive permadeath levels. So like once per day you can go and try and like set your record in a permadeath run where like a few other things are changed too. Some parts harder, some parts easier. And like you can manually create your own seeds and share them with friends and stuff. So you can do legitimate like, exactly like you do with randomizers, like randomize the same seed with people. It's so sweet.
On a Zelda game.
I know.
What will Nintendo think of next?
That was not to go back to E3, but that was the wildest part of E3 is during the Nintendo Direct Treehouse when they were showing off the Link's Awakening like custom dungeons.
Yeah,
the guy says it's almost like a randomizer, and I was just like, "Oh, face fire!"
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy didn't get fired. He got put into a corner office with a view. Because that's what they do.
He had to go run Luigi Mansion demos for the rest of the weekend.
Oh my god! Oh man.
What was the coolest booth you guys saw? I'm sorry, not to go back to either. I'm just like jumping around topics.
Man, the one that I really wanted to do that we didn't want to wait in line for was Dragon Ball Z. They had like the capsule spaceship, and like you know in Dragon Ball Z when Goku gets in the ship, goes to Planet Namek. And he's training and, he doesn't have like a gym or anything in there. So he does push-ups and then like he sets it to 10 times gravity and then he sets it to 50 times gravity and then he sets it to 100 times gravity. He's doing push-ups. I wanted nothing more than to go into that capsule ship and do some push-ups. It would have been the highlight of my life.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I think the Fortnite stuff was really just fun. Like
they always
super fun. Do things so big now.
Yeah, it was so big.
Did you catch any of the event they did after E3, like Thursday and Friday, essentially, or Friday and Saturday?
No, but we actually ran into some of the Fortnite characters that they had at E3, outside of E3.
Yeah, that was so
in that Tokyo town.
Dude, they have some of the same. I feel like those same people are at every event. Like these guys are making money, basically. Like a career being cosplaying Fortnite skins.
Yeah, they were out in Tokyo town, just hanging out. There was a bush that snuck up on Xwater. It was great.
That's hilarious. I gotta give credit to Fortnite. They spare no expense when it comes to these events now, and the event they did this weekend was like top level quality production. So props to the Fortnite team for just like pushing the production quality another step ahead.
Yeah,
I want to say. Yeah, it was just really really cool. All right, back to the new releases. Bloodstain was probably the next big game that came out. Very famously, the second Bloodstain. There was a Bloodstain last year.
Was the one last year like the 8-bit style one?
Yeah, there was an 8-bit style one, and this one's more of like a Soten style one. And people seem to like it. Have either of you played that one?
I've seen some footage and I've watched some people.
I've watched a little bit, yeah.
But you know the answer to know.
Jeez, Shaku, we're gonna need you to play some games here, man.
One of the games on this list I played, so don't worry.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Yeah, Bloodstain looks great. I've heard like nothing but amazing things about it. It seems the reception to this one is better than the reception to the first one.
Well, that's good.
People are very much feeling like, this is a Soten style sequel game. Symphony of the Night, for those who don't know, one of the most, probably the most famous Castlevania game, the most heralded Castlevania game. So people really seem to like it. I've heard lots of people say like, "Oh, greatest game of all time," blah. You know what I mean? Like all the hype that comes in with the first week play.
Yeah.
We got to talk about my friend Pedro.
Yeah. So you played Pedro that today, right?
I did play it today.
Yeah.
I saw you ending playing it and being excited about it.
So good. It was so good. Very quick, like Cadence of Hyrule. It's a game that's very quick but lends itself to multiple plays. Unlike Cadence of Hyrule, it's not like different every time, but the different difficulty levels definitely seem like they change a lot of the gameplay and how you approach things. But I don't know if I've ever felt like more of a badass shooting things in 2D. You know, like you're flipping around and throwing your guns this way and then putting them back out that way, which I just cross my arms and put them out. If you're listening, I forget that we're not on video all the time anymore. But yeah, you're like shooting guns. You're like you like blasting people's heads off, and then you're kicking it midair into another enemy to stun them, and then shoot them. Like there's just so many cool things. Then you have like the bullet time stuff, so it makes it all really easy to do and flashy to look at. It was a very, very fun game. It was like a cross between like Mirror's Edge and like I don't even know. Like,
Duck game.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good comparison, actually. Mirror's Edge and Duck Game are kind of like a really good comparison with like Inside, like if they had a big three-way and you somehow had a baby with those three.
Okay.
Dark, gritty. It was really weird, like very, very, very weird. The story was strange. And I don't want to say bad, but simple. It was a simple story. I was engrossed by it. I was into the end, but it was strange and weird, and definitely has its own style of game. And I was excited about it. I played it at PAX last year, and I was excited about my friend Pedro, but it kind of blew away all my expectations, honestly. Like I thought it was going to be a fun little game, and it's really fucking sexy. Yeah, it's definitely a game I suggest if you got $15 and 4 or 5 hours to kill, go get my friend Pedro. Yeah,
it's a cheap game and it looks fun, so definitely try that one.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a pickup for me too. It does look really cool. What was like one of the cooler moves you pull off? Because like the things I've seen is like you kick a pan and you do a flip and you shoot a bullet off a pan and hit it into a dude. Was there anything that like blew you away in terms of moves they set up for you?
Okay, yeah. So there's a skateboard. You have a skateboard, and you at one point they're definitely like levels. Like they have ramps whenever you're going to be on a skateboard stuff. But like at one point, I was skateboarding, and there was a bunch of enemies like below me. Like I had like a ledge, and then there was like an enemy like underneath the ledge. Like ledge, and he's underneath the ledge, and then I'm going off, and there's like 4 or 5 enemies. And so I jump. I put it in bullet time. I kick the skateboard at the first enemy, and it bounces off him. I shoot the next 2, bam, bam, in the head real quick, get back on the skateboard. Like it somehow magically bounced back to me with these ragdoll physics. I get back on the skateboard and then just like slide right into the next guy where I kick him right in the face. And it was awesome. It was super cool. The pan stuff is really awesome and very frequent. It's very simple. But all done very, very well and never got boring. Each level was different. They're quick levels. It very much like anytime I was like, oh, I'm just tired of shooting people, then all of a sudden it's hitting you with like a hot platforming section out of nowhere. Like no enemies, hot platforming, but it works because of the way the game controls. Like it all just kind of works. Yeah. Very good.
I feel like out of all the Devolver titles I've played, like recently, none of them have disappointed. So like I'm super down for a pickup on that one.
Yeah, they've been pretty good with all their games. Since I think TwitchCon, like 20 shit. What was it, last year or 2 years ago?
20 shit. My favorite year.
I guess it was 2017's. So for almost 2 years now, like they've been putting out some quality stuff.
They've really built a good name for themselves as like the dudes who put out like weird, interesting, not too complicated, pretty quick 2D style games. You know, it's always quirky. It's always like got some weird theme to it. It's never like a cookie cutter, like, hey, we made a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you know, speaking of weird themes and cookie cutter platformer, what if you put both of those together?
Ooh.
The Shrek spin-off game where you play as the gingerbread man.
What if you get Mario Royale?
Wait, what do you mean, Jakku? Is this some sort of Mario Battle Royale game?
It's the future of gaming, is what it is.
You know what? You joke, but I am so obsessed with Mario Royale. It's so much fun.
It is fun.
It's fun, and it plays so shitty. Like, it's so laggy. It's like the buttons nothing controls like the original Mario 1 because it's definitely like remade. It's like this guy's version of Mario 1.
Yeah.
It's so dookie, and yet the most freaking fun I am having right now on stream. I love it. I'm obsessed. I'm like I'm trying to go for like high kill wins now because they added a kill counter.
Yep.
So I'm like, let's go for high kill win games. I love Mario Royale despite it being a really bad game.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised you're not playing it right now.
I may have been playing it while we've been recording this first part.
Yeah. No, it's you're right. Like, it's a little janky. Like, the guy definitely didn't copy all the physics. And like sometimes when you jump on an enemy, you bounce like you expect, and other times you bounce a lot higher than you should. And you're like, oh shit, and then you die. It's fun. It's interesting though. The strat I found is and it's not the fun strat, so it wouldn't be good for streaming, is just wait. People kill themselves so much in that game.
I was saying, like, I wonder what the percentage of games that have no winner are. And I thought it was like 10%, honestly.
Way high.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, one of my matches, I'm like, oh, I gotta go do something, and it started, and I came back, and like, it's like, 5 people are left. I'm like, okay. So I start running through the first world. By the time I get to the end, I'm the only one alive. So like, you do nothing.
Doing nothing is a good strat in that game. I refuse. I'm hold right only. Like everything I do has to hold right. I don't ever let go of right.
It's a lot more fun that way.
Stream. Yeah.
I'm
surprised.
Unless
you have a star and you want to kill people.
Then you go back.
Then you go back.
Now, can more than one person grab a star, or is it just the first person to get to it?
Yes, kind of.
Kind of. It's like if you're all like there, like, you know, like you're overlapped with everyone, they'll just give you all the power up, you know?
Yeah. I've seen like me and 3 others get the star at one point. And that's fair too, because like if all of you are on the same frame essentially and you touch it and only one gets it, then 3 people die instantly even though they all touched it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm surprised he hasn't released skins yet. Because that's going to be the next new update is like Luigi, Wario, you know, Waluigi, Gooigi.
Yeah.
Gooigi.
Like that's going to probably be the next thing is like, oh, choose your character skin.
I mean, if he gets far enough to be able to release a new big update, there's like news articles on every gaming website about it at this point.
He's been releasing updates every day.
What's that?
Yeah.
Every day he's been releasing updates.
He's been releasing updates every day, but I mean, I think we all know that the shelf life on this game is limited. Yes. I want to say, like, it is inevitable that Nintendo is going to take this down because it is like super infringing on everything. This is not a ROM hack. You know what I mean? The way it's built is not a ROM hack way. Like, there's nothing legal about this at all. It's not in the gray area in any shape, form, or fashion. However.
He needs to release it as open source sooner rather than later. Because that way it lives forever.
True.
And you can download it technically, but it won't have a server to connect to, so it'd be pretty much useless. Yeah. But yeah, there are cheaters on it already, obviously.
Oh, so dirty cheaters.
Freaking cheaters, man. Like, how petty do you have to be to cheat in an online Mario Battle Royale game that takes literally 20 seconds, well, I guess like 2 minutes at most to beat? Like, and all your stats are local host anyways. So like you could say you have 1 million kills and 1 million wins, and no one's going to know that you don't, other than you. So like why ruin people's online experience?
Oh man, it's so funny.
I do want to get that fire flower at the start screen though. I am tempted to cheat for that alone.
Cheat for the fire flower at the start screen?
Oh, what if I could activate a star at the start on the load screen?
Jaku's like dirty cheaters, but Jaku's also like, how can I be a dirty cheater?
Well, the fire flower doesn't do anything. It's just he put it on the title screen area just as to mock you, so it'd be funny to get it and be like, haha, I got it. But getting a star when you shouldn't have a star would be kind of funny.
Well, that'd be more funny, I think, because like you would kill so many people.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "How did you get a star?"
So many.
Start some lore. Like, oh yeah, to get a star, you gotta win 100 games in a row. In a row.
No deaths allowed.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine that?
And you got to be facing left every time you touch the axe each time too, or else it won't work.
Welcome to 1995 internet rumors on how to unlock things.
I miss it. I miss those rumors, man.
Yeah, they were so good, and now like someone will just go into the code and be like,
"No, it's not true. Nope,
not true." Shut up, coders.
I still believe Sonic's in Melee, man. Some days
he is, dude.
No one's just been able to do it. It's just too hard.
He was the extra eye.
Yeah, Luigi is most definitely on top of Castle and Mario.
Yeah,
I still believe that. I still believe.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just a very it's not a good game. It's made well, you know what I mean? For like it's an online game. Like let's be real. It's made very well. It's just as well as an online game should be. Not made well. Here's what I'm trying to say.
It's a fun experience.
Yes.
For what it is.
Yes.
I do want to touch on this. When he first released the video on Sunday or whatever of the game, he threw some shade at like some AAA developers on Steam by saying like, "Oh, your games don't support controllers, but mine does." Dude, come on, that's a browser thing. Like that's built into that whole engine. You didn't code that yourself. Don't throw shade at people. Plus, your controls suck. Let's just get that out of the way.
Shade.
No, like, there we go. But otherwise, yeah, game's fun. And
it's fun.
It goes with what Pooh's been saying for years now. Anything can be a battle royale. We joked about it with Tetris. Tetris 99 came out. We joked about it with Mario. Now we got Mario Battle Royale.
What's the next one?
Shower with your dad simulator.
I'm not against it.
Stardew Valley Battle Royale.
Pac-Man Royale's already a thing.
What Royale's already a thing?
Pac-Man
Royale.
Like Pac-Man Royale.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they have it at.
Yeah, it's only 4, but it's a start.
They could do 100 and
they
it'd
could.
be really good.
100 Pac-Mans, actually, that'd be
Mario
pretty cool.
64 Battle Royale would be cool.
That'd be really good. Like you have to like stomp on persons.
Yeah, and like it throws everybody into one level randomly, so it's like everybody's in Bob on Battlefield or everybody's in Womp's Fortress.
That'd probably be easy to do with the Mario 64 multiplayer already. Just as soon as you interact with them, if you jump on their head, they die.
Yeah.
That'd probably be like a simple flip of a switch almost.
Get on it, gamers. That's
probably all it takes. Just a flip of the switch. I'm sure
that's all binary and things are, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make a 1 into
If
a
it was
0,
anyone
boom,
else saying it, I'd call bullshit. But I feel like we can take Jaku's word for most things in this scenario.
Yeah.
I do think I am firmly believe like SimCity that could totally battle royale.
How? Wait, how?
What do you mean how? You send all your pollution and crap to different
cities. You put your sewage pipes going into Jakusville. Meanwhile, I'm throwing all of my homeless people at Pooh Town.
You pay like to create disasters, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you have crime in your city, you could throw them in jail, or you could just like bust them over to Xwater.
A lot cheaper. Definitely a lot cheaper.
No,
exactly. You know,
no joke. When I was building the crowd control for SimCity, on SimCity Super.
Fuck, I still haven't done that. I need to do it. Yeah.
when you do SimCity on the map, when you press X, it shows like the map, and it's got 4 quadrants that you see that are separated by dotted lines. And I was thinking to myself, like, this would not actually be hard to do a co-op SimCity Online Super Nintendo, where each player has that one quadrant of the 4.
Oh, that's cool.
And it'd be a pretty fun squad stream. Yes, like you have your own budget, but you can't build in the other person's area. They can't build in yours, but you need to connect them.
I like that. I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like do you guys remember when the last SimCity game they did where it was like online?
Yeah.
But you had these like really tiny cities.
Very tiny.
I always wanted that game to be more interactive. Like there was no point in that game really being always online because it really wasn't that interactive. Mm-hmm. But I would love to have like a SimCity. Like I have my SimCity, but we're in a Sim County. You know, like me, you, Grandkey, whoever else that's out there. We just all throw in. We have our own Sim County, and we can interact or trade or do these things. Like I would love that type of game.
Honestly, thinking about it, like SimCity on the cloud, like online, always online. Like they had something there, but that was like 8 years ago as well. Having your city just persistent and online, so that when your friends build, that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Right?
And kind of like a mobile game or like Rust, where you go back to it over time, and that would be really fun and wouldn't be that hard to run.
Flip of a switch,
man.
Change a 1 to a 0.
Flip of a switch.
It's at least 2 flips up for this one, but
it does seem like EA owns SimCity, right? It does seem like they've just like given up on that particular franchise because The Sims does so well.
Yeah.
And now City Skylines exists, and you're gonna have to at least be as good as City Skylines. But I do think there might be room for like, something that's a little bit simpler than City Skylines. Mm-hmm. Because City Skylines can get rather
involved.
deep and complicated. Yeah, it can get rather deep and complicated. So if they went kind of maybe like a step backwards towards the SNES SimCity, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think they could maybe do something really awesome, but what do I know? Right. Well, what do I know? Every game, though. Every game Battle Royale. Every game, put Battle Royale in every single game. I hope to God someone at Nintendo is looking at this and being like, all right, can we put this in Mario Maker 2? Mm.
Yeah.
Because it would work.
It would work, yeah.
So
that'd be so crazy.
It'd be the biggest game mode. Like instead of 100 Mario, it's still 100 Mario challenge, but there's 100 Marios in the challenge,
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's the thing and we don't know. Day one patch.
Day one patch.
That would be cool. Now, the question would be, are the levels that we play through old classic levels, or are they unique levels that Nintendo releases like every week, or is it more of like, just any level?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair. Yes. All of the above.
All three would work. You know what I mean? I think all could work in their own way.
Yeah. 5 switches then.
Yeah. But they all could work. I'm just very for that as a thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nintendo might not usually take ideas and concepts and work with outsiders. I mean, obviously, Cadence of Hyrule's new territory for them, but
step in the right direction.
Yeah,
other companies are a little bit more willing to work with others on special packs and effects. Blizzard, in fact, actually.
Yeah. So you saw this cool new Starcraft project they're working on, yeah?
I did.
So I'm a real big fan of what they're doing here. Essentially, there's this YouTube channel that makes like these little parody Starcraft videos, and they've been doing it for a long time. And like they have a very consistent animation style for these videos, and it's all like these silly memes and everything. Blizzard has partnered up with them and announced that they're putting out for the StarCraft 1 remaster that they have. They're putting out a graphics pack that makes the game look exactly like these YouTube videos. Like they worked with the people who run that channel to create it.
I think it was like almost a 2-year project.
Oof! I didn't read that part, but I believe it. That sounds like a really big job.
Yeah, and like he had to keep it secret for this long.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Like that's the craziest thing about like a fan doing something with the actual company is like knowing that you're doing this awesome thing that you never thought would be possible and having to shut up about it for 2 years.
How many friend DAs do you think that guy has?
Oh man, he probably lost friends because he didn't do the friend DA. Yeah, but no, that's really cool. It looks really interesting. It's a new take on StarCraft. It's very cartoony. It's like a whole nother game. And so like if you're tired of the old looking graphics and you played the game so many times, and it's a game from the 90s, so you probably played it way too many times.
And it's not like the people in the 90s were like, anything less than gods at this game. Yeah.
So yeah, this is just, it's really cool. And I think you can change to it at any time in the game. So it's like Dragon Boy or Wonder, what is it? Where you can swap the styles. Wonder Boy. There we go.
Gotcha.
You can swap the styles live. So from old to new. And so you can do that with this game, and that's really cool because it's exactly the same. It's just a new graphics overlay. That's all we want.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is right. Yeah. That's all we want.
Yeah.
It's all we ever wanted.
I just want my old games with new graphics. Gosh, like why can't I just have those things,
And Battle Royale.
Battle Royales. Yes, that actually is true. I want all three of those things. Seriously though, I know this sounds bad, but I do want every game to have a Battle Royale now. Like Mario Royale is literally just like solidified it for me. I like Tetris, man. I wasn't playing Tetris at all. I could give a shit about Mario 1, and I'll play those games all day, every day.
Here's one for you. All
right, I'm sorry.
Chess Battle Royale.
What do you mean? That's super easy. You just throw people 100 different pieces.
Pawns. Yeah.
Yeah, pawns and a big giant, thing, and then you can only move every so many seconds. And like boom. You know what I mean? Chess.
Come on. Try a harder one next water.
If one of your pawns gets to another edge, then you get. Then
do you control more than one pawn, or are you just a single pawn? And is there like randomly placed power-ups on the board?
No, you have 100 like players with all your chess pieces.
100 people each with a full like army of chess pieces. Oh my god, this sounds mad.
On a big giant board, and you get to move. Like every 5 seconds.
This lad's trying to play 100D chess.
Yeah.
Oh, what if it's just like, so you match up, so it's actually 1v1 but it's 100 people doing the game at the same time. When you beat one player, you merge into another game, like you take over to another guy, and whatever pieces you still have, you have still too, and so do they.
And maybe you recover some pieces when you kill someone.
Yeah, maybe you recover some.
I'm into that.
Yeah, there you go. That. Yeah,
that could work too. That could work too. I like that.
You know what game Battle Royale I want? Frogger. I want to see 100 frogs crossing the street.
That could totally work.
That would work.
It would have to be like in the same style like the Mario 1 Battle Royale. That is the one complaint I have is there's not much incentive to kill people other than your own evilness and Twitch clips. But it's so good.
Man.
Battle Royale StarCraft, that would work.
Yeah. Anything could work.
I'll keep thinking. I'll see if I can hit you guys with one that wouldn't work.
I got one. Battle Royale essay writing.
How do you kill someone?
I think that's called college.
Oh.
Yeah, you got 100 people all writing. It's Google Docs, and you just link it to 99 people, and you all have to write an essay.
Yeah, I think that's called college. Is what that one is.
Plagiarism is the equivalent of like map hacking.
Oh, well, plagiarism. You want to talk about plagiarism?
Let's talk about plagiarism.
It's not really plagiarism, but it could be fake. It could be real. We don't know. Nintendo Switch mini rumors.
Ooh.
We got some case maker. I don't remember their name. They had some mock-ups of a Switch Mini on their website.
Apparently they were at E3.
Like. Oh.
Yeah.
What, the Switch Mini?
Or? They had like a 3D printed fake Switch Mini that they put their accessories on at E3.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We missed that one. Nintendo went over there. Doug Bowser went over there and took it away day one.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. No, there's this is actually fairly normal for case manufacturers not to get dimensions on things early, but usually to get leaks early. Like you ever wonder why when you buy that new phone, as soon as it comes out, you can already buy a case from like 5 different manufacturers? It's because yeah. So it's because they have spies and people that give them intel based on these dimensions, and they take a gamble on those, and they will manufacture these cases and stuff, so they can have them on day one. Very rarely will the actual company give them the specs and the dimensions on these devices. Like it really depends, but usually they don't, especially for like iPhones and stuff. And so these companies will literally make thousands, well, probably millions of these things with the gamble that it might not actually fit your phone on launch.
It'd be awkward.
Yeah, it would be awkward.
That would suck.
It's kind of crazy.
That would super suck, being like the one who's like, oops, sorry, I got that leaked information wrong.
Well, I wonder, I'm sure, like, especially like the phone case makers now, they probably like go to those Apple events where you can get a hands-on, and they have like 5 different ones.
Yeah, a couple prototypes, and they're like, which one of these is gonna fit?
Go with B. Yeah, go with B.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And they just start printing.
Yeah, it does make you wonder why, like, well, I wonder, they probably do, but Apple and all these companies most likely, put out like, oh, this is what the phone's going to be to a few of these companies like that do the manufacturing, and then see which ones show up online or whatever to be like, oh, okay, we can't trust them for the next run.
You know what? Do you know what they do when they're testing new iPhones now too? Is they put it in a case that looks like the old iPhone.
Yeah,
it looks like an old iPhone. So,
yeah,
because they had that one stolen like way back in like 2006 or 7 back in the day.
Yeah,
and so like they're walking around with a new iPhone that looks like an old iPhone. Like, it's just the new iPhones inside of it. It's really funny.
Yeah, we learned of that because of the bar story. The guy left his phone at the bar.
The bar.
And the guy took it. So somebody left their iPhone at the bar. This guy took it home, wanting to return it the next day. When he woke up and he was a little less drunk, he noticed that it was an iPhone 3, but it was in a case of an iPhone 3. And it was actually the iPhone 4. And this was like almost a month early. And I remember like Apple going crazy, and like just it was insane to have seen this phone so early, and it was such a different looking phone. It was crazy. But yeah, so any
of those switches you guys saw at E3 could have been
a
mini Switch inside of it.
Yeah. So yeah, the Switch Mini. It looks pretty cool. The mock-up that we saw, it has a full D-pad. It's not the whole up down or like ADXY
not the detached
or up,
like buttons.
Yeah. Here's the traditional D-pad, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of worried about that for Mario Maker.
Dude, when I was playing Cadence of Hyrule today, and I might like the battery on my Joy-Con went dead. I had to switch to the Pro Controller. I was getting so many offbeat messages because of the phantom inputs on the D-pad, like accidental up and down presses when I'm trying to move. Like, it's absolutely not usable for Mario Maker without some sort of mod. Like, it's disgusting. It even went so far as to give me the little message like, you suck at keeping rhythm. Would you like to go to easy mode? And I'm like, get out of here, game. Only after I switch controllers.
It's the
Don't
controller.
You know who I am? I'm 100% Serbian male. I'm in the club, okay? Like, I got rhythm. No, actually, you know what? That's funny. I am going to do a YouTube video about what's the best controller for Mario Maker 2, and I have purchased pretty much every aftermarket third-party Pro Controller that I can find. And right now, I'm hoping that it works, but I'm leaning towards the Pokken controller.
I just ordered that
Pokken
today.
Controller.
That's the one I'm hoping works.
Oh, the D-pad on that is one. I really like the D-pad on the Hori Joy-Con.
Yeah,
but you can't. You can only use the Hori Joy-Con, like this left Hori Joy-Con with this dope D-pad. You can only use it on your fucking Switch. It's so dumb. Yeah. You can't use it wireless, because I would just use that and I'll deal with the small buttons, whatever. But you can't use it wireless. So then I was like, all right, I'll get the Hori Pro. But the Hori Pro is like this weird like circle D-pad. It's so
like a
dumb.
Sega Genesis style pad.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly like Sega Genesis. Yeah.
Yes. So the Hori also made the Pokken controller, but it doesn't have joysticks. So it might be one of those situations where I build with one controller and then play with another.
Sure.
Which might make sense. I know a lot of people are leaning towards the PS4. I personally am not really hyped on having separate buttons because like the PS4 controllers, like different D-pad buttons. I like the being able to slide back and forth on it. So I don't know if I'm so like gung-ho as other people are about the PS4 controller, because you can use like the Mayflash adapter and use PS4 or Xbox One controller. The Xbox One controller's out. Its D-pad's got problems too. It's very strange. I'm excited to go through the tests next Friday.
Sure.
But the regular Pro controller is so disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a real, like, the Wii U Pro controller was, apart from the awkward placement of the thumbsticks and everything, was ultimately like a really, like, one of my favorite controllers. I thought it was great. It worked really well. I switched back to I used the pad when I play Maker on the Wii U.
Yeah, I used the gamepad.
I have the GameCube Hori controller that's got the big style D-pad. Yeah. It looks like a Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that along with the USB adapter, GameCube USB adapter. See if that works.
I can get behind
if the
that.
Pokken controller doesn't work out. So hopefully one of those two works. Because it's kind of interesting that Nintendo has always been pretty good with their D-pad, but on the Switch,
it's like the most important thing, right? Like it's like the Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
Ever since they lost their patent on the D-pad,
yeah,
and
they're
other
like,
people could make them. They're like, that's what it feels like. It's like, I can't believe how bad I am. It blows my mind how bad the Switch D-pad is, though. It is unplayable. Like, you cannot play Tetris 99
absolutely
with that D-pad.
not.
You have to. Yeah, it is so bad. Like, it is mind blowing to me how that ever got through any sort of R&D at all, ever. I can't express how I can't express how bad.
For like the company that we've been using Nintendo D-pads since 89 or 86 was the NES. Whenever that was, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dude. It's so bad compared to their first ever home console controller. Like, you'd think they'd have that down by now.
Pooh, do you have the Nintendo Online exclusive NES Joy-Cons?
No, I don't have those.
Those will only work for Mario 1 and 2 or 3, but those could be good for test.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like the Hori pad is probably the one I'm going to end up, or the Pokken controller is probably the one I'm going to end up going with. It's just, I mean, like, I know for a lot of people, they will play like normal, but do mid-airs with the joystick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those. I just like the D-pad all the time, personally.
Yep,
like,
same.
So it's, I don't know. I don't know what people are going to do as far as the controller is concerned. As long as we're talking about Mario Maker 2, should we just go to this week's salty moment?
Oh yeah, let's go to the salty moment.
Let's hop right in there then. And before we do hop right in there, got to give a quick shout out to our homies at Marianne's Chocolate, the sponsor of the salty moment of the week, where they actually provide these delicious little coins at coins.warp.world that you can get your hands on. Using code WARP, you get $5 off, and if you order these, you get 12 coins, each approximately the size of a mayonnaise lid, big tub of mayonnaise.
That's on their website now.
I would assume so. It's a good way to describe it.
Really?
But no, you can get them in dark chocolate. You can get them in milk chocolate. You can get a mixed batch. You get 12 at a time. They're all individually packaged with special little custom Warp World packaging. They're the cutest. They're delicious. And they're a dang good deal. So go to coins.warp.world. Use code WARP for that purchase. Check it out if you're hankering for some chocolat. So yeah, let's get them their salt. What's your salty moment of the week?
Well, as we get closer to the release of Mario Maker 2, we're kind of getting a slow IV drip of information about the game from people who have review copies, inside sources. I don't know, maybe people who have been in like invitationals or tournaments, stuff like that. I don't know where this information is all coming from. A lot of it's like the Game Explain channel.
Yeah, review copies are out there.
Yeah, review copies are out there. I actually know 3 people personally with a copy. One is 3 hours away from me and said I could drive up and play if I wanted to. But I'm like, when am I going to actually do that? What do I want to say? I mean, there's there's some things that are missing from Mario Maker 2 that were either expected or what do I want to say, or just in Mario Maker 1.
Yeah. Things we never expected would have been removed.
Things,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's like, just to start off with it, like one of the big ones for me that really like made me sad is the weird mushroom, the lanky Mario. It's gone.
Lanky Mario.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Supposedly.
Seems to be gone. And that is something we should say.
Yeah.
They're like Super Mario Odyssey. It got a day one patch. That changed a pretty significant amount. Looking at the speedruns hindsight, so there is a chance that Mario Maker 1 gets a day one patch, and they put Lanky back in. There's a strong chance they're holding back content from these reviewers to not give away any secrets. I haven't seen anything about like the extra game mode that we all know is definitely in or going to be in the game. You know, because there's a big fucking spot for it that looks like there's an extra game mode. Like we've all seen that in the trailer. I've not heard one thing about that. I have heard some things about like tech. Like we heard you can't overlay pipes on top of each other. That's a big thing.
That is big.
There's a lot of levels that use that for trolls, but there's also a lot of levels that use that to make it like seem like a pipe shooting out two different items or objects or aesthetics. Like you can go come out of a pipe and then go back in that same pipe and end up in a completely different space. You know, they did a lot of cool things like that. That's gone. I get it. I get why they did that. There's a rumor that you can't jump off things in lava anymore.
That one sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like that one really blew my mind.
What one does that ruin? I wonder, like, you have to wonder why they're making some of these things. And it's like,
I'm assuming the rising and falling lava is the reason why they would take that away. Or maybe it doesn't work in red lava and now it works in purple lava.
Well, here's an idea too. It's like,
you know,
they got to know that there's been this diehard community who's been at the game, like, you know, for the last couple years while they've, you know, the Wii U's dead while the Switch has been going. And like something like spin jumping off a Galumba that's falling in the lava isn't intuitive to me, like even me, user. You, and like the three of us on Mario Maker 1's launch date. And a lot of these people who are going to be playing Mario Maker 2 are going to be going into Mario Maker with that kind of mentality. Like they didn't grind Mario Maker 1. They didn't, you know, pour the thousands of hours in. They don't know all of this massively unintuitive tech that we do. And maybe they're intentionally removing that so like we can't pollute the game with all of these levels that appear unbeatable to your average player, which is going to be the vast majority on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it's going to, there's going to be new things in that same vein that work like that.
Yeah. And I was going to make that same exact point is, yeah, they're probably removing things that just you don't think of when you first see it, and users can feel frustrated, and you can't do what you do with all these other Nintendo games nowadays and say, hey, do you need help? Do you need a different power up right now? You can't do that with Mario Maker, because it would ruin the whole point of being able to design levels. So that's probably their way of ensuring people have a fun time.
Yeah.
Fun.
It is interesting. There's also like some weird like disappointing things we saw from the game Explain. You can't spawn the car without a Koopa.
Thanks.
Seems strange. Can't stack boom booms on top of each other in 3D World. Actually, you can't stack enemies at all in the 3D World version.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which seems a very weird, strange thing because stacking enemies is like such a fundamental thing in Mario Maker now.
Didn't stacked Goombas start in 3D World?
Maybe. There might be stacks of Goombas in 3D World.
I think there is.
Yeah, I think there's a very highly likely chance that there is. Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know. They're definitely an Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I guess we're seeing. I mean, again, like you said, it could be a day one thing. They're keeping some things a surprise. Lanky Mario could be a surprise. Maybe you got to unlock them in some weird way. I don't know. It is sad to not have Lanky Mario.
Oh, man, it makes me so bummed out. Yeah. I put it I put a tweet about it, and I was like, man, this is like the biggest loss. And some guy's like, dude, random Lanky Mario sucks. And I kind of forgot that it was random. Like, I can only think of it in the context of levels built around using it intentionally.
I loved when I got it.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good feeling when like you get it and it's like, oh, this level is easy now.
Yeah, because you could force it too. It wasn't just random, but yeah, the random part of it was awesome about that because you could do something, and it was the third power up for Mario 1, which it was missing. But speaking of power ups, did you guys see the new power up?
The Bang Bang, the hammer.
The Bang Bang, Mario Maker power up. You get a hammer, and you can destroy walls to the right and left of you like bricks.
But we've only seen that in 3D World, right? We haven't seen that in the other games. I have to feel like there is just a breadth of content that they're holding back from these guys with review copies. That's what I really feel like, because I think Nintendo, I just think they just don't trust anyone to not spill the beans. And I don't blame them, because I tell you right now, I've been asking everyone I know as many questions as I can. Like, you know, like I'm sliding into DMs being like, yo, I know you got it. You made a level, show me that level. You know, like what do you do in that level? Is it hot? Is it sexy? And so I'm glad we're getting the disappointment out of the way. Oh, I think another one we should talk about is multiplayer. Definitely is going to it's going to suck at certain points, because you can play any level multiplayer, but that doesn't mean that any level can be beaten multiplayer. Like if you need a dry bone and there's only one, that was an example I saw. Like they needed a bone from the dry bone, but you can only get one because the person ate the dry bone. The other 3 players just had to
wait
sit
for a respawn.
Yeah, I don't even think you get a respawn because they're sitting there looking at it and they can't exit the screen.
Well, like die and respawn near the player, maybe.
Well, yeah, but when you die in multiplayer, the game doesn't like pop. Like it's you come back in a bubble.
Yeah.
And there's also things in the story mode that is not anywhere in the creation right now. Like there's just a brick rock that makes you, when you're holding it, you run slow and jump low.
That sounds really cool.
That it's in the story mode. This was I want to just say it was Game Explain again. It was like one of those Game Explain or Game blah blah, one of those one channels. And there's 2 levels. One, it had a rock that's not anywhere in the creation mode, and you have to carry the rock to the end. And that's not a thing you can do in a level, creating it on your own. And the other one was, and this lends credence to maybe Yoshi's Island being in, but you had a toad that you had to escort in like a bubble, and you couldn't pop the bubble. So neither one of those were options in the regular thing, but was an option in the story mode. And then we've also seen them do, like at the Invitational, they created that multiplayer level. That's literally impossible for someone to upload, that co-op level. That's not possible. We will never see a level like that uploaded, as far as I know, unless, I mean, maybe like Friday of GDQ, someone can make something really cool and test it out, and then they can put a dev door in it or something. But as far as we know, you can't upload with 2 concurrent players. But I could be wrong about that. Again,
there could be so much. Yeah. The rock thing, that's really interesting. That one they could definitely put in, I feel like, in creator mode. The toad bubble, that seems like, okay, that's kind of just a nice little thing to do. But yeah, that's interesting.
I saw apparently it looks like your small Mario in SMB3 is able to crouch.
Yeah.
Which that's a welcome change. I'll take that.
That's cool. Yeah, he can crouch in Mario 1, Small Mario as well, but Mario 1, Small Mario can't butt slide.
Can't butt slide, but he can crouch?
Can't butt slide.
Well, that just feels wrong.
Yes.
Well,
they showed it on Treehouse, yeah.
Yeah, and that's to get rid of the whole problem with the costumes, right? Because in Mario 1, when you got costumes, and so that's just that's making it
and that's
easy.
one we've known for a little while, but I'm still sad about no costumes, man.
That one is a little salty, but it's understandable because like how many costumes was there?
It's like the whole Pokemon
100
thing,
or something.
which people that's another good salty moment. Double salt.
Yeah. I mean, we could start over, give us just Jumpu Girl.
Yeah, like you don't need to put all of them in. Just a few.
Yeah, I am really disappointed because it does seem like Mario 1 specifically kind of
Took a big hit.
Got the shaft.
Got shafted. Took a big hit, and a lot of the best Mario 1 levels are like you're Sonic and it's a Sonic like level, or you're Link and you're exploring all over the place. That created inspiration.
Yeah. Mario 1 was the best way to make levels that didn't feel like you're playing Mario. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Captain Toad levels. You're Toad,
Yeah. Can't jump. Guys will blocks all over you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm glad though we're kind of getting ripping these band-aids off a week before it comes out.
Yep.
Because there are some things I'd be really disappointed. It seems weird to take away that aspect of lava because that's what made lava so sexy in Mario Maker 1 though.
Yeah.
Now it just can move up and down whoa.
Yeah. We'll see. From what I've heard, Nintendo definitely plans to listen to their fans and the online for Mario Maker 2 this time around. I've heard it mentioned by a lot of Nintendo people. And so I think they're really looking to online to kind of expand this game and fix some things and, add some things. The best way to do any of that is never to shit on the product completely and be like, this is bullshit. You need to be like, hey, it'd be really cool if you could add this back in. So, if the communities want it, they can be vocal about it and they can request it, and hopefully Nintendo listens. And
it's still going to be a 10 out of 10 game for me, no matter what. All these things I'm kind of complaining about are all things that if they didn't include in the game.
Can I play levels online?
Yeah, exactly.
Mario? Sold.
More items, more backgrounds, more music. That's all I needed. But I can't help but be a little disappointed that some things are. And we've already seen it. They already they heard the backlash of playing with friends, and they were like, okay. Yeah, should play with friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did that.
Yeah, they did a quick 180
that's
there.
great.
Yeah,
I think it's
so that's
we got kind of a bit of excitement coming forward with all of these things too. At the same time, we're gonna lose a lot of the things that we've grown to love in Maker 1. But think of how many things that they're not gonna have thought of that some creative person in the community is gonna be like, I wonder if I drop an icicle on this kind of block as this is happening, what's gonna, we're gonna find all kinds of weird, new, exciting exploits, and it's gonna make for it's gonna be a new frontier of Mario.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, just the on-off switches.
Yeah, the on-off switches are gonna be high.
So stupid much.
I'm gonna make so many stupid troll levels with those.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Magic Koopa.
Yeah.
Blockade.
Magic Koopa switcher. I don't know. Light switch. It's just as simple as flipping a switch, guys.
Simple flip.
Simple flips.
Simple flips. Oh, that's the name of the level. Simple flips.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Well, should we speaking of simple flips, who is a speedrunner? Did you guys know that there's a speedrunning event coming up this week?
I've heard,
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. What is it called? Gaming fastly played.
Summer games done quick, and we've traditionally done our GDQ previews where we break it down day by day. We're not going to do that this time. But GDQ, for those who don't know, it is a huge. It's speedrunning's Super Bowl. It's speedrunning's NBA Champions. Speedrunning's Olympics. It's our biggest week of the year. It's a great event. It goes on 24 hours a day. We're raising money for Doctors Without Borders this year. I have two runs in it. Yeah, both on the Thursday during a giant Hot Mario block. Jakku will be commentary for one of those runs, actually, which I'm really excited about. The blind ROM hack race, which you actually hosted the draft for, Xwater. Which was a great production, by the way. I loved that.
They did an amazing job. I had no idea what was coming until after I sent the footage over.
Yeah, it was so much fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, is there any? Let's just do it like this. Because we've talked about on this podcast, all our longtime millions and millions of listeners. We talked about what it is to do at GDQs. Mm-hmm. Talked about the etiquette and everything else. Let's just talk about what fucking runs are you excited about year? Anything?
Well, the biggest ticket item
runs.
is obviously, all of the Mario stuff.
Lots of Mario. Lots of Mario.
Yeah,
ROM
all
hacks.
the ROM hack stuff. The Grand Poo World 2 and Invictus also being in there. The Blind Kaizo rate. There's going to be so many Kaizo levels to look at on that Thursday. It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be super wild for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like the Link to the Past Super Metroid combo randomizer near the end of the event, that's gonna be a fun one to watch. It's, that's really cool.
I like that they even got a Super Mario World vanilla coming in at the end of the event. It's like. I find it funny that it's not with the Mario block.
It's kind of just
there. I think they wanted to get some Mario on the last day, and this actually might be my fault because I told them I was leaving Thursday the whole time.
Yeah.
So I knew my run I thought we would get Wednesday is what I was guessing, and I think they wanted to lump like the blind ROM hack race with the other ROM hacks, so create a little ROM hack block. So I felt like they just needed to get some Mario in on that last day, so they wanted to do their traditional Mario World. Which, I mean, let's be honest, I feel like they're pretty lucky, to do that 96 exit race not around the ROM hack time, because the ROM hacks kind of slay.
They do, yeah.
At GDQs, they do really well. Yeah, they do really, really well. So.
One of the other ones that I'm kind of interested in seeing is the Rockman 4 minus Infinity ROM hack.
Oh.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, so Mega Man 4 ROM hacks actually be ran.
That's really cool.
Part of the Mega Man block. Yeah, so is this the first ROM hack outside of Mario?
No. They've had Symphony of the Night ROM hacks. They've had like Super Metroid Super Metroid Upside Down ROM hacks. Yeah. They have had a few other fan games, but I'd say this is the first, like, what do I want to say? This is probably the biggest one outside of Mario.
Yeah.
And I think you're just seeing that. I think you're seeing a lot of these players, like, the ROM hacking scene is getting bigger and bigger every day and expanding way beyond Mario at this point. But B, you're just seeing these players that are really fucking good at these games, but are tired of grinding down the same, half a second. Mm-hmm. In your Mega Mans and your Mario Worlds, your Mario 3, like, guys, I gotta be honest, like, I am not gonna play Mario 3 for years after this event. I am so unmotivated to play that game. I wish this sounds bad. I hope our incentive doesn't get met. I have no desire to actually do that race. Which sounds so horrible. It's such an honor to be invited to GDQ, and I'm so honored to be invited, but I am so just ready to put Mario 3 down and let Mario Maker just soak all over me.
Consume
Mario Maker 2.
I've been telling you for months now. All Forts is out. It's some Forts. That's what you need.
That was 2018. All Forts was 2018. We're living in a new year right now.
It makes sense. I'm sure Mitch is also feeling it. Like, you notice Mitch has been playing a lot more Super Mario World ROM hacks, obviously Grand Poo World 2. But even Mitch has kind of been moving on, I feel like. There's only so much you can do of a game that you've seen so many times and played. And it doesn't mean it's a bad game, and it doesn't mean you're not going to go back to it. You need to take a break. And with that, you'll get better. For some reason. Nobody knows why.
It's like a new Wild West where there is the option now. Like before, 5-10 years ago, sure, there were ROM hacks, of course, but speedrunning was all right, I'm going to be the best at this game and I'm going to grind it down and learn all this cool new tech. But now we've found a way to mix high skill gameplay with brand new content, which is best of both worlds. You're still getting good. You're still doing insane, cool, fun tricks, executing interesting strategies, but you're playing legitimately new things. It's got fresh music in most of these hacks now, and all that nice quality of life makes them, a lot of them feel like new games, especially with just how many crazy ASM hacks or ASM patches and everything are being built for SMW lately. You can play an SMW hack at this point that resembles almost nothing of the original game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see it like expand out beyond this. I'm really excited for Titanfall 2 because I love that game. It's such a good speed run. It's to me the best first person shooter speed run out there. Portal 2, which is not a first person shooter, I don't care what anyone says, that's going to be a really fun one right at the beginning of the game. We just looked it up and we saw this game called The Texorcist.
Oh yeah.
Which looks fucking awesome.
And
that's
hard as hell.
It's happening like 6 a.m, so nobody will watch that. But try it if you can. I like seeing Zallard run punch outs. Those are always really fun. Bach Basoup with a Claire A or Leon A Resident Evil 2 run on the PC. Could be really good. Got to give a shout out to my boy Raging Cherry, who is the guy who kind of like brought me in at Red Bull, going against world-renowned Smash Ultimate player Esam, who, for those who don't know, one of the best Pikachus in the world, if not the best Pikachu in the world. Many top 8s this year, which it was not really good for our Smash Ultimate tournament chances. That's going to be going down at GDQ. If Esam enters that, I feel like that's going to be a pretty easy win for him. Yeah, but they're doing dive kick, and I've heard a rumor that there might be an incentive for them to do it on the DK bongos.
Dude, that game is hilarious. It would be fine because
it's very.
I mean, the concept of that game. You guys have seen it, right?
Yep.
2 buttons.
Jump.
Yep.
Okay.
Dive. Kick.
Yeah, jump and kick. That's all you can do. And everything's a meme. They have like Twitch emotes or characters in it. It's like
the entire game is a meme.
It is literally the entire game is literally a meme. Sinister One, I love him. He's doing Chip and Dale Whiskey Rangers co-op. That'll be cool. Our blind ROM hack race, our blind relay race, is going to be hot. I don't know what they're going to come up with, but it's going to be hot.
Yo, I'm excited for this cave story run that's going down too. Best ending. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Breath of the Wild, any %. We haven't seen that in a while, so it's going to be, it's going to, like, it's very much evolved since the last time I was at GDQ. Last time I was at GDQ, it was an hour-long run, and now the estimate is 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It went from an hour 10 estimate to 35 minutes.
Yep.
So that's wild. And if you've been keeping up with Breath of the Wild speedrunning, they do some silly shit now.
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie 100% race. I'm stoked about that one. I love that run so much.
Yeah. It's a good run.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
there's an Octopath Traveler. Looks like race. I don't know.
No, it's a bid war on what character to play the story as.
Okay.
So,
but they have 4 different runners listed.
In case the bid war chooses a character.
So one runner per character,
each of them knows,
and whoever's chosen runs.
Dude,
essentially.
I would hate to be involved in something like that. Because, like, you have to, like, to get your moment, you have to take 3 other people's moment. I would never want GDQ to do that to me. I would never.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal.
I would hate to be involved in that.
Speaking of Octopath Traveler, though, it's now available on PC. So if you don't have a Switch, go buy it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good game.
It is a good game. It was really fun. I hope to see.
Oh, you played it?
Oh, yeah, I played it. Yeah, that's the one game I played. No.
I love it.
I don't play games anymore.
All right. But yeah, GDQ. Watch it. Love it.
Watch it. Love it. Live
It's going to be. It's going to be hot. It's on. Yeah. 24/7.
Absolutely. You got nothing else to do. The only other thing you should be doing that week is running in side questions.
Hey, what a smooth transition.
I was full of them today. All right.
Loved it.
Let's do this. This comes from Corey. Do you think this Super Mario Maker servers will shut down before Chain Chomp Brandon uploads TOD? If so, what if any are the repercussions? So the question.
Let's explain first for those who might not know what this is. So a guy, Chain Chomp Braden, has basically been trying to upload a Mario Maker 1 level for better part of 3 years now.
1,000 days or so, yeah.
Yeah, he's put so many hours into it. He's come right up to the last jump multiple times and not been able to get it. And he's got a week before Mario Maker 2 comes out. We're all rooting for him. But he was actually in my chat today, and I asked him this question. He said specifically, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep grinding. I'll play Mario Maker 2, but I'm going to keep grinding this level. And I was like, well, do you think you might get inspired to just kind of recreate it in 2 with, and give it a buff, obviously, since you have more years to do it? And he's like, man, maybe, who knows? I don't think he's going to get to upload it this week. I don't. My heart wants him to upload it badly though, so he can be free of it going into Maker 2. Because I know I know it's not something he wants to give up on, and I don't even think if they shut down the servers, I think he would still.
I think he would still get the legit clear. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
He got partnered trying to upload that level.
Yes.
He doesn't have a webcam and he doesn't have a mic.
Just plays nice, soothing music while he plays the most insane looking level.
That's the crazy. Like, I feel like that's the craziest thing about all of this for him is like, that's how crazy this level is to the Mario Maker community, that hundreds of people are willing to watch him every single attempt. And that's all they're there for. And that just goes to show, like, you never know what's going to make you get partnered. But I kind of want to take this question a different route as with Super Mario Maker servers, because everyone's always like, oh, are they going to go offline with Mario Maker 2? Nintendo is really good about announcing that sort of stuff, like a good year out. We haven't heard anything. So I'm saying we got to like the end of 2020 at least.
Yeah, I think they'll leave it on for a little while. How much do you think Mario Maker servers cost them? Probably not like an absurd amount.
A few thousand a month. No, it's a few thousand a month doing that, because they're all Amazon. We know the size of the levels. We know data rates and stuff like that. It's going to be a few thousand a month, which is nothing to Nintendo at the end of the day. But obviously, eventually you're going to want to be like, well, that's a few $1,000s we could put towards something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, I think till the end of 2020 at least.
I think so too.
So, all right. Then we got 2 questions. Well, we got two viewers, 2 side questions that are kind of similar. So I'm going to read them both. Hello. This comes from NXT. This week, we got some great announcements and details around some story-centric re-releases like Final Fantasy VII, 8, Crystal Chronicles, Mana series, etc. With old games getting new releases, not only do we get to relive some of the incredible games, but a new generation of gamers may be playing them for the first time. That said, what are your thoughts on spoilers around remakes? Should OG fans of the series take a backseat on the internet spoilers and let the new kids have fun? And then additionally, recently, we've seen a focus on remastering classic games and bringing them to newer consoles such as Resident Evil 2, upcoming Link's Awakening. Alternatively, NES flicks and other VC games allow gamers to play classic games in the original form. Would you rather see ported as is or them remastered? And what classic games would be your top picks for new remasters? And this is from Upper 90. So I want to combine both of those, because they're talking about remasters in different ways.
Yeah. I mean, it is a good point on not wanting to spoil like what's going to happen for someone who may be playing it for the first time.
Tifa dies.
But it's hard to really, take a stance on that, because wait, what did you say?
I said Tifa dies.
Yeah, of course. And the strongest scene in that game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
of old age.
I feel like it would be cool to, like, if you're on Twitter, try and keep yourself back for a little bit, for the first little bit. But the odds are, for these prolific games, even if you haven't played them before, you've heard about them, you've seen them. Likely, you more than likely have a good idea what's happening in that game. Like, there's probably a good chance that even if you haven't played it, you know what happens.
And here's the thing with spoilers. Like, you might know an event happens, but you don't always know when or how.
Or how.
Yeah, and that's
what led up to that.
Exactly. And I think that's the big thing, is like, you might know a certain character dies at the game, and you might be on edge every single time they show up on the scene. But you're like, that actually makes it even more like suspenseful, because you know it's going to happen, but you don't exactly know when. And when it finally does, you're like, holy shit. So yeah, spoilers. I mean, obviously, don't be a dick, but I don't think anyone needs to go out of their way necessarily to not talk about these games and stuff. And that said,
it's hard. And something like, going back to like Resident Evil 2 specifically, and that game changed very drastically from the original game. And I have a feeling Final Fantasy VII is actually going to take some big story liberties as well when it comes back out. So it's almost kind of, it's kind of fun because you're not really spoiling the story for them. You're plot twisting them in some ways, like like the Tyrant in Resident Evil 2 remake, being in the first A quest.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. I was like, whoa, he's not supposed to be here.
I was like, I was pissed. I was almost gonna turn off the game. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that yet. I'm not ready.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't ready for it. So for games like that, I think it's kind of, I don't know. I'm torn on this. I'm very much like, it came out 20 years ago, no more spoilers, but there are going to be a lot of people that are going to experience like Final Fantasy VII for the first time. So I don't know. It kind of, do what you feel is right, but I don't think I don't think it's really fair to get mad at someone for discussing Final Fantasy VII when it's a hot topic and it's a 20-year-old game. I don't think that's fair. Like, I think the onus is definitely more on the person not trying to get spoiled at that point than the spoiler. Whereas, first weekend at Avengers, like, we all have a duty to not be fucking dicks about it,
Sure.
I definitely think it's different. So, and the second one, man, a game that we want to get seen remade?
Yeah, what's the game you would want to see get remastered, and what's the game that you would never want to see remade?
A game I'd want to see remade or remastered. That's a toughie. I feel like the Game Boy Color is a good target here.
Sure.
Just
the entire library.
I mean, yeah. Link's Awakening, Metroid Returns, like both of those.
I was leaning like Oracle of Ages and Seasons even. Those would be hot.
Yeah, I would like those games too. Those would be fun.
Donkey Kong 64. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah. I never want to see a remake of Donkey Kong 64.
But it's good now.
Yeah. I don't know if you can do that. Is none of the characters in the original game in there?
Listen, the game may be bad, but don't you dare insult Lanky Kong.
All right, Lanky Kong is best Kong. If Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles wasn't already being remade, that would obviously be my answer. But I will go, and we've had kind of a Tales of Symphonia remaster, and that game was also still good looking. Shit, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, I'm gonna go with SimCity again.
That was in my head, but I'm like, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like just updated slightly, but still like the same mechanics essentially. So it's not overbearing and all these
like
crazy
sexier,
things.
Just sexier looking, you know what I mean?
Bigger cities online.
More travesties that can happen. No, I mean that doesn't really count. I feel like I got a better one for that. It was for the longest time. It was Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'd love to see 3, which I've heard rumors that 3 is getting the same treatment.
It's coming. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's.
I'd love that. So I'd love the original Resident Evil as well. Would be good. One, even though they did like an HD version of that, not necessarily the remake. I'd like to see like the whole reimagining, especially with like, I don't know if you guys ever played the Resident Evil 1 director's cut, but it has this like beautiful B-roll movie intro scene that I would love to see remade. Just that in itself, would be pretty good.
There's a whole website. There's this one like guy that's tracking down all the actors that was in that movie, and they found most of them. And they've gotten some story about like how it was done, and like most of them are random people. Some were like kind of actors, all in Japan though. And they went to like this field. There was mosquitoes everywhere, and they were filmed, and they were given like zero direction, and it shows.
I can totally see that. You should totally look that up on YouTube.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, because it's something.
Oh man, I just got my answer.
This one comes from our.
Elite Beat Agents on the Nintendo DS. I was thinking about this game earlier. Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like
that would work on the Switch. Yeah.
three handsome gentlemen go and solve people's problems while you play Osu. It's great. They got like hilarious music videos. Those games are fantastic, dude.
I want Samba de Amigo.
I'm stealing my answer from Twitch. I'm stealing my answer from Twitch chat. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tactics is a good choice.
Answer.
Yeah.
Not the PSP one either. That was kind of an upgrade, but like, give me like really nice update. Give me because that was a fun
Final
game.
Fantasy Tactics Advanced. Yeah,
I played that. Yeah. I was completely lost because I played the Japanese version. I did not understand it.
Oh, I got it. Mario 64.
Oh yeah,
a complete remaster of Mario 64. I would love that with a not shit camera, and you make
Mario
the worlds a little
64.
bit like feel larger. 100%. Okay. That's mine.
I mean,
Mario 64. I would love to see that.
When they showed the castle in Odyssey, I was like, "Can I go in a painting, please?"
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. That was such a touch me in the morning and walk away. I was like, "Oh my!" When I first walked in there, I was like, "Oh my god, are they gonna let me go into every Mario?" I was so disappointed.
I was hoping just one, even like just let me go to Bomb.
Yeah, that would have been really chill.
Yeah,
that would have been sweet. I mean, they did give you the little courtyard, which was like, it was neat. Yeah. It was neat.
Absolutely. It was a fun time. It was definitely like holy shit. And they changed all the things to stars again. Yeah. And then you had the costume change. That was cool. The costume to
that was really cool.
Polygon Mario 64.
Yeah.
I feel like Mario Odyssey has to be in that same little limbo that Breath of the Wild was in, where like you saw those statements where they're like, yeah, we had so many ideas for DLC for Breath of the Wild that we're like, we're just gonna make another one.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Odyssey's in that same like little boat now where they're working on part 2.
I have to think so.
It's got to be.
I have to think so. I mean, both of those games came out, early enough in the Nintendo life cycle where sequels make a lot of sense. Now that could be really bad for the next Nintendo console inevitably when we have to do. It's one of the Nintendo consoles where we wait 3 years before we get a Mario or Zelda. But I think both of those games we're going to see a sequel on the Switch for sure. Yeah, I definitely believe that. And I mean, you know what I really want to see? And this has nothing to do with the question at all. Breath of the Wild Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be so fucking good.
It would. We've talked about this, and it lends itself to it so well. You got the paraglider, you glide in. Yeah. You got arrows,
drop
swords.
Anywhere on the map. Arrows. Yeah. You could be a Goron or a Zora, different skins and all that good stuff. You could, throw rocks and barrels, set up traps, like literally set up traps for people like you're fucking hunting and snaring an animal.
Yeah.
Eat steaks.
That'd be so good.
Cut down logs and then drop them on someone. Acquire items, like you open chests to acquire items.
Yeah. You know what would be a sweet storm too is instead of like a weird fog, they just had an army of guardians like closing in the area where it's like it's not a fog. They're legitimate enemies, but like they're still like it'd be such an impending doom that's more believable.
So the calamity is like closing in on it. It could be a Breath of the Wild alternate universe where the Link failed. That's why Link and Zelda are not in this.
You play
anymore.
as Terry from Terrytown.
Oh my God! You have to build a town. With the Guardians, do you think there'd be a chance then, as the player, you survive that storm if you do enough parrying and stuff, and you kind of get like flung back towards the center?
That would be sweet,
man.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going way off. What's the game? What's the game that you never want to see remastered?
Mario Brothers 3.
The original Donkey Kong Country trilogy.
Really?
I think those games are perfect as is. Like, I feel like what they did on the SNES with the animation style, the music, literally every bit of those, I think those games hold up better than any other game. I don't think they need a remake in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't mind a re-release, but not a remake.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze is so
like
good.
I don't want updated visuals on my Donkey Kong Country 2, you know?
Really? Tropical Freeze is so
Tropical
attractive.
Freeze looks good, but I think it's probably nostalgia, but I still think DKC on the SNES has like that, just such a strong charm. Same way I think Yoshi's Island has like a really undeniable charm that could rival any of the recent Yoshi releases too.
Yoshi's Island is a top 5 looking video game all time ever now today. Like Yoshi's Island, I think is like as attractive as Cuphead is. Honestly, it's so beautiful still today. Yeah, I'll completely agree with that. Yoshi's Island is like that game definitely does not need a remake at all. Man, I know. I could totally do the original Donkey Kong Countries, but with Tropical Freeze everything, and I would be probably pretty happy. I'm not a big fan of the original ones, but I love Tropical Freeze. I think Tropical Freeze is
really good. It has some the boss fights I don't like, but that's it. Everything else is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Fair.
More than fair.
Jakku, what was yours that you didn't want?
Oh man, I don't even know.
I kind of want every game just to be remade all the time. Honestly, I want every Zelda on Switch. So,
trying to think of you know what game never needs a remaster? Yonoid.
True.
That one's for the people.
Fair.
I'm doing you all a service with that answer.
Fair.
All right.
Episode 100 and a half.
100 and a half.
That is episode.
Triple digits, boys. Our first triple digit together.
Episode 100 part 2 is what we'll call it. Part 2.
All right.
We'll just skip 101.
Thanks. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next week. Make sure to check out the Patreon if you haven't. It's patreon.warp.world. Follow the YouTube channel. Follow the Twitch channel. Give us good ratings on your podcast app. Tell your friends it's a good show. And that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We out. Peace.